again in the old Chevy Silverado, this time with our good pal, Josh Abbott.
Can't take my eyes off the road.
What's happening? Yep, drive carefully. Make sure in signal, 10 and 2.
10 and 2, yeah, there we go, 10
Excellent work. So here we are, we're in Josh's kind of adopted hometown now of Austin. Josh and I both originally from the West Texas Flatlands, Lubbock, Texas, and thereabouts. And you've been here a couple, 3 years now, right? A little while?
Yeah, well, actually, we've been here a year and a half.
Yeah.
And we've been living in Round Rock, and here in the next week, we're moving into a house in North Austin. So now officially we'll be an Austinite.
Well, tell me how it's treated you, and tell me, you know, get a little compare and contrast. I mean, I still enjoy going back and visiting in Lubbock, but it's definitely a very different sort of thing. So
you know, I went to high school in Lubbock, or outside of Lubbock in Idalou, and went to college out there and lived out there and for grad school and everything, and it has a special place in my heart. So
Sure.
I don't think anything will be quite like that. I think, you know, beauty's in the eyes of the beholder, and so when I get to go home and see those plains and the cotton fields and, you know, a lot of what people consider ugly, I've always just considered kind of home.
Sure.
But you know
I can
what?
relate to that.
Austin and Round Rock, you know, and everything out here has been great. It's almost like living in another state because everything's so different. You know, the people out here almost dress differently, if that's, you know, an observation to make. But really, the one thing I really love about Austin and Round Rock and the whole community of this area is everyone really embraces the idea of like this organic lifestyle almost, you know, where you just kind of eat at, you know, local restaurants and support local economy, and you know, it's a great place for Texas music.
A lot of civic pride here.
Yeah, and a lot of different types of music, really, not just Texas country music. You know, we can't think that we're the only ones out here. I mean, there's a lot of good rock bands and different things going on, and you know, they do a good job of bringing in arts and culture into the city. You know, whereas West Texas probably not so much.
Well, West Texas is just so far from everything.
It is.
It's a harder thing to do.
And I'll always be a West Texan by heart. I'll probably never change my cell phone number because it's an 806 number, and I can't lose it. Like I'll cry the day I have to give up that cell phone. But
that's fun.
I love living in Austin for those reasons, and I've really enjoyed going to the Round Rock Express games when I've had the chance.
Yeah,
and,
super good.
Coming down to not just 6th Street, but really just seeing a lot of the different, you know, places in Austin that you can grab a beer or get some enchiladas.
6th Street's kind of for tourists.
It really is. It really is the touristy thing to do. But every now and then it's kind of fun to do because, you know, there's a reason it's a tourist spot. You know. So anyway, Austin's been great to me, and I've started a Jab Fest down here in Austin now, and I've been able to sing the anthem at some events, and so I feel like I'll be a part of the community out here for a long time.
So just back from Europe, things are doing great. Shows are packed. Everything's awesome. You know, I think there's certainly a perception, you know, in the scene that you guys are you've become very dominant. You've become definitely one of the newest and most undeniable A-listers is the way I would put it.
Well,
there's not much saying that you're not anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I appreciate that.
So, well, I'm interested in your perspective on that. Does it seem, because I know, one thing I know about you and your guys and your outfit is that you guys work very, very hard. You play a lot of shows. You know, you're definitely, you're living it, you're doing it right, you're working very, very hard. Does it seem to you as though the development of your stock in the scene has been fast, or do you feel like it's come along in a way that you expected it to, or what do you think?
I'd like to say both on that. I mean, I put the band together in 2006, but we didn't start playing really. We didn't have a booking agent or a radio promoter or any of that stuff that kind of says, hey, I'm here, until 2008. So, you know, it just seems like this has been kind of a short ride so far. And, you know, I think a lot of some of the older bands, some of the successful bands on the scene and even the unsuccessful ones perhaps in terms of numbers, you know, kind of resent that. And it's been a barrier I've really had to overcome, and just try to show people my authenticity and love towards not only the Texas music scene, but the camaraderie as well.
Sure.
So, you know, I feel like
you've done the songwriting camps and all that stuff, which has got to be, you know, a big part of that.
Well, yeah, not really songwriting camp, because I never try to presume that I'm going to teach anyone how to write something. It's really more of a convention where a bunch of us songwriters get together and start recording or start writing songs together, and try to put people that normally would never write together or even hang out because they're in different cliques, try to get them to write together and really increase that sense of Texas brotherhood. And so, you know, it's funny because a lot of people spend the first 4 or 5 years really growing on the camaraderie side and then trying to get bigger, and we kind of flipped that. You know, we kind of got popular, and then all of a sudden we realized we've really alienated ourselves, because a lot of the other bands in the Texas scene were kind of like, who the hell are these guys?
Well, they got
who do they think they are? I think that once people get to know me and the outfit, that most of the time that they see who we really are, and that we have a good heart for everything. But it's been a wild ride, and I don't want to say that it's been totally unexpected, because, you know, I mean, let's put it this way. Anyone who starts a small business, if you don't expect it to do well in the first 4 or 5 years, I mean, look, you really shouldn't be owning a business.
Right, right.
And so that's what I always tell people, like, I don't want people to think I'm cocky or arrogant, but I'm confident. I'm confident in the product that I'm pushing, and the different ways of marketing that product that we're going to do, and the decisions that we're going to make as far as what shows we're going to play over other shows. And, you know, should we take less money to be on this show if they'll give us a better spot in the lineup? And, you know, how do we go about ordering our merchandise the right way? And, you know, how effective is our radio promotion when you look at individual download sales in different regions of Texas in comparison to the radio stations that play us there? Who seems to be the most effective? You know, we do a lot of those type of analysis in our camp, and so I don't want to say that it's totally unexpected, because we work really hard and we're strategic and smart about it. And other bands that make those same decisions are successful, and bands that don't concentrate on the business aspect, and they think, you know, oh, I can just play my music and everything's going to be great and work itself out. I mean, it's just, those days are over.
Yeah.
The days of you playing some, you know, small show, hole-in-the-wall bar and, you know, getting discovered by some record label person that says, this guy's the real deal, we're going to take him the distance. It's not going to happen anymore.
You got to do it yourself.
The industry has changed, and even record labels now that are signing, they're signing people at our level now.
Yeah.
That have a crowd, have 100,000 Facebook fans, you know, have 10,000 Twitter fans. I'm just throwing some numbers out there. But they're looking for people who, you know, they're not looking for that real good-looking country singer from Montana that nobody knows, but they will, by God. They're looking for someone who's been hitting up the bars and selling thousands of CDs on an individual grassroots level, and they're saying, okay, if this person can create this kind of momentum on a local or regional level, how can we transpose that to a national level?
Right.
And so, anyway, the industry's changed, but all in all, I love what we do, and I wouldn't take back anything, and it's been a wild ride, and we hope it can continue.